Season 1 Year 6 update has just been revealed, with testing being done in the PTS. And one of the biggest highlights, the Diamondback Exotic Rifle update. The community is buzzing with excitement over what is being presented as the third exotic edition for the upcoming season. But before we get too carried away, let's pump the brakes and talk about why we shouldn't be fooled.
Or to save you time, we could just jump to the point and tell you a polished turd is still a turd.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Okay, let's take a look at the upcoming proposed changes for Year 6 Season 1. These are still in the testing phase and can be changed before launch. So they increased the damage from 329,000 to 342,000. That's about 13,000 in damage, which ends up being about a 4% increase in damage. And they're expanding the magazine, and then the talent has a slight adjustment to it. So Diamondback randomly marks an enemy within 20 meters. If no enemies are within 20 meters, it marks the closest enemy to you. And the rest is the same. Hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit and amplifying damage of that hit by 20%. After hitting a mark, all shots fired are guaranteed crits for 5 seconds. And then a new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. So what you're basically going for is 100% crit chance, which is really attractive. And the only way to do it, because the cap in the game is 60%, as most of you know by now. All right, let's talk about the Diamondback Exotic Rifle. Now on paper, it sounds pretty cool, right? I mean, who wouldn't want a rifle that can guarantee crits? But here's the thing.
Let me guess, it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
See, the issue with the Diamondback has never been about its damage output. It's always been about the talent, Snakebite. Sure, it packs a punch in the right situations, but it's too situational to rely on consistently. So this talent, Snakebite, sounds menacing, but it's kind of hit or miss, literally. It marks targets for you.
Good or not, and then it's like, good luck, buddy.
Not exactly what you want when you're in the thick of it. This makes the damage buff extremely situational in combat, often forcing you to make a choice. Snakebite marks a target for you, and you think, go for the damage, right? But here's the catch. That marked target might not be your biggest threat, so you've got a choice to make. Prioritize the marked target and risk getting flanked by the real danger, or ignore the mark and hope for the best.
Spoiler alert, both options suck.
So you decide to ignore the marked target and focus on the immediate threats. Smart move, right? Well, not exactly. See, now you're fighting without your optimal damage and guaranteed crits. The Diamondback has a small mag and a very long reload, and you're gonna use more rounds to kill that potential threat, opening you up to being overrun. So whether you're chasing the marked target or dodging it like a bullet, the Diamondbacks got you caught in a catch-22. The choice exists because the rifle plays best at an aggressive range. For one, it doesn't have a zoom scope, making long headshots difficult.
Hey, if you're looking to get real pissed off at this game, yeah, just try landing a headshot with the Diamondback beyond 20 meters.
Then there's the mag size. Sure, they bumped it up a bit by giving it an extra round, but it's still smaller than the strongest snipers out there. So every bullet must count, and you better pray you're hitting those crits and headshots to make the most of it, or you will be stuck in reload purgatory. And playing at this range means you're likely going to have multiple available targets inside 20 meters. Snakebite can choose any of them, even the target that's out of your line of sight and not closest to you. Let's review some of these very common scenarios. Okay, so the first thing I want you to look at is the timer. There's a little Snakebite timer underneath the ammo count, right? So I'm going to activate my Snakebite talent for that 100% guaranteed crit. And what hopefully you'll notice is that 5 seconds isn't very long in this game. There's often times that you're getting suppressed, and there goes said buff. So then it consumes the mark and then picks the next target at random within 20 meters. So I have 3 targets within 20 meters that you can see, but then there's another target outside of the fence on the left-hand side that you can't see, but he's beyond my line of sight, basically beyond my reach. So what do? Go out there and face 3 riot foamers? Now, one possible solution is to reload and change your target, but in order to do that, I have to take a shot, right? Waste a bullet, basically, sort of waste a round or dump a round. So we do that. But then what happens? Well, my targets aren't just standing still, are they? They're moving. So upon reload, the new target it selects is not the same target on the other side of the fence, but still a target that I cannot see, not allowing me to get my damage buff. And finally, within this same scenario, we get set up with the 3 threats in front of us, but the greatest threats are directly in front of me. My marked target is actually in the back of the 3, but luckily, this time, at least, even though he's not my greatest threat standing in front, I still have a line of sight or a shot on him, so I can ping him, get my damage, and then quickly within 5 seconds try to apply those guaranteed crits to these other dudes. So finally we're done, but it's a very painful process, and we're lucky no other enemies jumped in and possibly thrown a fire grenade on us or something like that that would have forced us out of cover. One shot of red in the body. Pick that guy over there. Not this guy, so we're raw dogging it. Which means your weapons, your builds already has. So not this guy, you see that? There's the dilemma right there. There's the dilemma. I had to shoot the guy in the back. The other one. And now I'm in a frenzy. Yep. And now I'm dead. Because if I would have shot the guy not marked, then I would have been shooting him without my crits, guaranteed crits. So it's that dilemma. It was a perfect dilemma. So we had 3 targets, 1 behind me, 2 in front of me. They were all inside 20 meters, and it chose the guy that was farthest away, running away. And then I had to shoot him, because if I didn't, then I would have had to take on the other guys without my damage. And either way, maybe it would have worked out anyways if I would have just said, okay, let's just raw dog it and go without damage. You're now not using the talent because of a decision, because of a scenario. And consistency is a big deal in this game. And so that dilemma that just happened, I believe, like speaking for the community here, is what turns off most people. It's almost exactly like the Guardians event, right? Like you shoot this guy here, then you're gonna have less damage against him. But if you shoot the Guardian, the marked target, you're gonna get more damage. And so it's exactly like the Guardian. And so I've always described the Diamondback as if you were running a global event or an extra directive. I'm showing the build that I used during this demonstration and the live stream, and it's a really good build now and in the future for the Diamondback, so feel free to copy it if you like. What you want are headshot damage and crit damage everywhere, at least 150% headshot damage, prioritizing crit damage over the 2. And that's because crit damage comes in greater chunks and also works for body shots, of course. But you want to minimize your crit chance because, again, that's what the weapon does, is guarantee crits at 100% when you land that mark. So if we go back and look at the changes that the devs made to the upcoming version of the Diamondback, none of those changes address the issue that we're constantly facing with this weapon. And that is the random selection of targets is often not an ideal target. So to compensate for a build that's running around without its damage for X percentage of time, who knows how often that is, you need to already have a very strong rifle build. You're facing a target that's in your face, a heroic elite or whatever, and he's in your face, you need to be able to take him down with the fewest amount of shots. And you only have 6 rounds in the mag. And so if there's more than one target in front of you, boy, are you in trouble, even with glass cannon. Assuming not everybody's 100% accurate on their headshots.
I am.
You are what?
100% accurate with my headshots. I play on PC.
So if you're not Tito and you don't play on PC, there's likely a miss or two. Even if you land on the body, there's a potential reload. So you want to minimize the crit chance on your build because you're going to have 100% crit chance when you dial in your mark. That's really the point of the weapon. So I know some people might be tempted to roll on a bunch of crit chance in case they don't have their mark. It's sort of like hedging your bet.
Stupid idea.
But in my opinion, you're kind of wasting the talent. Then it's like, well, why are you running this thing anyways? Because that's really its only perk. And one reason why the people are excited about the Diamondback now and in the future is because of its base damage. With or without that upcoming increase, this weapon is already strong because of the variant type that it is, which is the 1886. And so let's take a look at the normal 1886. Mine has a little bit of expertise here, so keep that in mind. But it's already strong. So without the expertise, it's near 800,000. And we got crit hit damage to targets out of cover on this one, 5 rounds in the mag, and you can put whatever talent you have on it. So it's already strong. So that 4% increase in damage, I don't see as a game changer. Now, some people are saying, ooh, that's a significant change. But for me, it's not. Because when you have a weapon that only has 5 rounds in the mag, you need to make every single one of those bullets count. That means you're gonna go for the head because you want that guaranteed crit hit damage plus that guaranteed headshot damage. And so what I said there actually creates a slippery slope. So once you realize that you don't want to multi-shot enemies, even with 6 rounds, you don't have enough rounds to pull that off without feeling like you're always reloading, which inevitably is going to get you killed eventually. You start treating this weapon like a mid-range sniper because it's strong enough to one-shot chain kill elites, even in heroic. And by moving to a chain killer build, you are converting your mag from 5 shots to 5 potential kills. If you're doing a standard crit build, counting on body and headshots, then maybe you get 2 kills out of your mag. So great, your build's already optimized, you just need to stick with those headshots. So that sets up the next issue, which is Headhunter, the chest talent. So the Headhunter chest talent is the best matchup for any of the 1886 variants, including the Diamondback exotic, because it turns those rounds into 5 potential kills when you have your chain killing buff from Headhunter activated. So Headhunter gives you 1,250% headshot damage increase based off of the last headshot killing blow. Remember earlier when I said you only need 10 million in damage to one-shot chain kill an elite? Well, whether you're using the 1886 or the Diamondback, that's pretty easy to achieve. The point is, once you achieve your effective damage, which is going to be 10 million, then all the damage on the build is no longer being used because Headhunter took over. All the damage on the build is basically put on hold because Chain Killer's taken over. It's going to keep using that last headshot kill and multiply it by 1,250%. It's going to keep cycling that and keep cycling that. Thus, you can crit and amplify that damage all you want. It's only going to create small, insignificant fluctuations on the damage, and anything over 10 million is overkill on elites. And even on named bosses, it's only going to be slightly helpful, but who cares if you have to go from 1 bullet to 2 bullets to kill a boss? So if it takes you 2 shots to activate Headhunter, and then you kill this entire group of enemies with Headhunter, then you really only use your agonizing bite on the first kill. So what's really gonna blow your mind is that you didn't even need agonizing bite to get your first kill. You could use another weapon to help you get the first kill and then switch over to any 1886 variant, or just put out a couple extra shots to get your first kill. You're off to the races with Headhunter once it kicks in, which isn't gonna take that many shots anyways. And now I can chain kill all of these guys much faster because I don't even have to go for the head. I can go for the body because the 1886 with Determined makes things so much easier.
Question: if you're treating it like a sniper, why not just run a sniper build?
That's a great question, and we do have answers for that. Set this side by side with the Model 700, which is the strongest non-exotic sniper in the game. You'll see it has a significantly greater damage and even a larger mag. But this one does have a painful reload, so we do have to be mindful of that. But you don't even have to make that jump. You can look at the SR1, SRS, the M700 series, but the 1886 variant has an advantage, especially with directives. So it has the ability to chain kill, which means it's using very little ammo, but the game gives you a ton of it. Even with the Pistolero directive, you can maintain hours of content without having to worry about running out of ammo. Now with marksman rifles, that's not the case. You're basically pinned down in cover running with sharpshooter because you need to regenerate ammo, and it only does it when you're in cover. Rifles just flat out don't have to worry about that. But also the crosshairs. So the 1886 can put out multiple shots quickly because the crosshairs close quickly even when you're relatively on the move. Where with snipers, the crosshairs are quite slow and it's very difficult to shoot and land your shot even when you're within like 5 meters if you're moving even a tiny bit. And rifles can run with the shield where snipers can't. So you can play this relaxed or aggressive or even aggressive out of cover. But what most people don't know, even without a damage talent, the 1886 can chain kill and often has a surplus of damage when doing so. See, using solo heroic content as an example, when you're out in the open world and facing tons of elites, you only need 10 million in damage to take out an elite with a single shot, which is actually not that difficult to do. I'll showcase here, even using the same exact build with the Diamondback, I can do it in 2 shots as long as I have the snakebite buff in play. With the non-exotic 1886 using the Determined talent, that is not a damage talent. Thus, this weapon is carrying less damage with it. It can also chain kill. And moreover, it can chain kill on the body, turning it into a short, aggressive chain killer. In other words, a really fast time to kill because you can go for center mass and don't always have to go for the head, and can also have extremely high accuracy rates at long range. And the Diamondback can't meet the 1886 on either of those points. The Diamondback is always going to require you to land your shot on the head if you want to continue chain killing. And at deep ranges, it's very difficult to do so, which in turn is going to put you back back into that dilemma, the choice of having to go for your marked target or the target that is the greatest threat that's not marked, making it difficult for you to earn your chain killing abilities. Quickly pivoting to a very important topic. The worst part about the Diamondback Changes is that the devs are using this Diamondback as the third exotic for the upcoming season.
Ouch, that stings.
Besides the fact that many are thinking the other two exotics are likely dead on arrival, I'm hearing chatter that a lot of people's highlight for the season are the changes to the Diamondback. And that's really bad news because the non-exotic 1886 with Determined or any other talents like Behind You, Lucky Shot, or Preservation for 20% armor on kill are all more efficient at clearing content and providing the user with more survivability than the Diamondback. The 1886 is a better weapon than the Diamondback, exists now, today, and with the upcoming proposed changes that they've made for the Diamondback. And whether they know it or not, the community will eventually realize this. That becomes something very difficult to ignore.
And back in the stash, the Diamondback goes.
Giving us a back-to-back season of 0 for 3 exotics. The Diamondback cannot be our third exotic, especially in the state it is in. The Diamondback's talent needs a rework. If I were the devs, here are the changes that I would make. Hitting a target will give you guaranteed crits, and every shot landed will return to the mag for 5 seconds. This allows you to choose your targets and helps mitigate that very small mag situation. One of our community mods, Grumpy, also proposed that a medium range scope would also help set this apart from its non-exotic variants too.
Hell of an idea. Right on, Grumps.
Anywhere between 4 and 8% zoom scope would be great. So I think we need to be really loud and clear on how we feel about the Diamondback. We need to get the devs' attention on this.
This cannot fly. Comment below.
Thank you for hanging out with me today. My name is Tuxedo Bandido, and this was another episode of The Division 2. If you found this video helpful, subscribe, like, and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss out on the fantastic experiences waiting for you in The Division 2. And if you like builds like this, check out the recommended build video I have here for you. If you have anything you want to see covered, be sure to let me know in the comments below. And thank you to all the channel members and donors who make everything possible. Tux Nation wouldn't be without you.
When you buy a game from Ubisoft, enter the creator code Tuxedo Bandido to support the channel. Easy peasy.
Follow me.
I get it.